Okay, Brent from TradeGuild.blogspot.com, January 3rd, '07. This is part 4. This is going to be the final video. We're looking at shorts. I just showed you IONA, what looks to be like a head and shoulders top. There's that neckline, which happens to be sitting at support. You can see what's going on here with the volume. It's tapering off there. You can also see the negative divergence there in MACD. Let's see what else is brewing over here. I see a negative divergence right off the bat over here in time segmented volume. And like I pointed out earlier, the relative divergence that's in effect over here. If we look at, real quick at an hourly chart, let's just take a look at what's going on as far as an entry goes. Making big time lows over there. Maybe this is going to bounce up a little bit. That would be great. Give us a better shot at it. So IONA looking pretty decent there. TMX, this is Telefonos de Mexico. And telecom in general is looking pretty good. We're going to look at some stocks, I think, later in the week in telecom. But this one, as I was looking at some nice looking stocks, this one didn't look so hot to me. It sold off pretty bad over here. And it's kind of testing these levels again in this area. Running out of steam a little bit. Over here, negative divergence. Over here in BOP, negative divergence. And of course, over here, very negative divergence. You can see what happened over here. Just real quick look at this indicator again. This is making highs. We get over here at a higher level. It's making a lower high. This indicates a divergence. Subsequently, the indicator works. We see a sell-off. Then we make a lower low in price, but a higher low over here. Positive divergence. Subsequently, we see a rally. Rally in lockstep. It's moving up. Boom, failure right there. That's a negative divergence. Moved up even higher, even greater negative divergence. So now this is leading, and I think it makes for a pretty good short. Here's INFY. This was different than IFNY. This is INFY. So don't get those confused. Why I have this indicator up on the screen. Again, we can see the same deal over here. W bottom. It's in lockstep over here. It's in lockstep here, moving up. And over here we get the divergence. Over here it becomes a leading divergence. Interestingly, we talked about triangles functioning as continuation patterns, as bottoms and as tops, like Archer Daniels Midland was a recent example we pointed out. And here we see the distribution. We see volume starting to taper off into this little false breakout here, in my opinion. Good to trap in some longs, give some shorts an opportunity, I think. And, maybe something develops from that. I don't know. The volume was up today, but, the whole market was up on volume today. My personal opinion is that this BOP, this TSV, and this money stream are all saying the same thing. And I think this is a short. Here's Celgene, CELG. This is another one that I think is a short. Big volume here. It spent its load. It went up. The volume hasn't been able to do anything over here. MACD is divergent over there. It's crossed over. There's that indicator again, and you can see the relative divergence. Price is much lower over here, much higher over here, but we have the same reading over here in the indicator. So let's take a look at an hourly chart. You can see the picture just gets worse and worse and worse as it's been struggling to make newer highs. It's all of a sudden now broke down into this leading divergence. So I think Celgene remains a short. This has been on my short list for a little while now. And I guess, you'll have to decide what you want to do for a stop, but you got a little bit of a trend line here. You could say maybe a break above 59 breaks that trend line, or you could really be a hero and try to go for that $60 level, depending on the size of your position. So I think it's an interesting short, though. Let's see if we can move along here. ANGN. Now this is one that we've really called very well, I think. It had rallied up on declining volume on a very negative MACD divergence. I think just about at the top over here, I think right in here we called this a short, and right over here we said cover that short, it's going to bounce, and it's going to bounce and become another short. Over here we've got a doji, which is a very good sign if you're looking to short this. And it almost made it up to kiss this channel. If it did make it up to 1350.14, it'd be beautiful, but it's still a very nice looking short. There's TSV 18, not looking too hot. And you can see BOP's transitioned into a little bit of a selling situation. And let's see, take a closer look here. You can see as we made highs here, this corresponds a higher high, a failure right there. And on the hourly chart, like I said, it looks like it wants to bounce a little bit higher. But in any case, it's pretty decent short, in my opinion, right where it is. As far as a possible stop, I'm going to say up around here, or up around that gap, 14 or 1375 or so, maybe something like that. Here's IDSY. Let's see what's going on here. Some kind of a complex top. It's not a head and shoulders, but some kind of complex top, broken down below the neckline, consolidating. I'd say a break of that $18 level. It's a definite short. Rallies up to 20. It's a definite short. There's the picture there if you want to pause the video and take a look. And you can see what happened there. Moving along here because I'm running out of time. CKSW. Click Software Technologies. Let's see what's happening with MACD here. It's not a huge divergence, but not looking strong at all. This looks pretty good. So what makes this a short? Okay, so time segmented volume 18 has been heading down. It's broke down below zero. BOP selling. On balance volume over here, if you can see, it's below its moving average. Money stream below its moving average. Back to my indicator on an hourly chart. You can see really on an hourly chart is where that divergence really takes shape. Here's a high trend corresponding with this. Higher highs, and it's making lows. It's making higher lows. Or, yeah, right. And then here at the top, it's really divergent. So I think this is a short, in my opinion. Don't have time to go over the stops, but we can discuss that if you want to email me or whatever. SSRI, this is silver. Silver's acting like a dog. So I think just by virtue of that, this is a short. Big volume there, distribution. And with my indicator, let's take a look on an hourly. You can see this is where it's really broken down. It should be holding up here in these levels. It's broken down. It's making lower lows, even though the lows over here were higher. And it's failed up here. So I think this is a short. A couple different ways you can play it, but I think probably the most likely way at this point is going to be to short it below this area here, below 29, or you can try to get it up here around 31.50, or you can take it right now. FRG, this one is what I consider to be a short downtrend. I posted this I think last night, gave a great short on that opening, and it's pretty much failed over here in my opinion. You can see on my indicator, this is one of the things that I kind of I think what I was looking at over here. As we made this high up here today, this failed to get up there. And let's see what it looks like on an hourly time frame. It looks pretty good on an hourly time frame. Maybe it rallies a little bit more, but you can see the divergence really over here. So anyway, we'll see what happens there, but I think it looks like an interesting short. And I think this is our last one with 40 seconds to go. UNCA. Well, you can see what's going on in MACD over here. It's been heading down. We got a big dump of volume over here. They pushed it back up. It's seen some distribution up in that area with this shooting star type of formation. Distribution there in BOP. And you can see on this indicator, if you want to pause it, up here it should be making higher highs. It looks like a dog to me. That's it for today. Thanks for listening. Stop by tradeguild.blogspot.com because I'm not posting too many more videos on YouTube. They're going to be on Rever. So stop by and take a look. Good night.